There's something tech sales companies don't tell you about how they actually hire people. And once you know it, it changes the whole game. I was a tech sales hiring manager for 5 years. I've seen how the process works from the inside. And I can tell you, most candidates are playing by rules that don't actually matter. And the ones actually getting hired are doing something completely different. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's going on behind the scenes when companies hire SDRs and how you can use that intel to get hired faster. Most people think getting a job in tech sales is about having the perfect resume or applying to as many jobs as possible. That's what everyone tells you, but that's not actually how it works. As a hiring manager, when I posted a job, I would get 300 to 500 and even thousands of applicants at times. I didn't have time to read all of them. Nobody does. Most resumes went into a pile that never even got looked at. The people who got interviews weren't the ones with the best resumes. They were the people who got my attention before I even looked at their resume. I had an SDR candidate we hired, we'll call her Sarah, who had a pretty average resume on paper, but she had done some cold outbound on me before she even applied to the job. In her cold outbound, she was able to demonstrate over email. She actually sent me a video that was a 1-minute overview of her background, how she actually had hands-on experience with the software we were selling as an end user, thought she'd be such a great fit for the role. That one video got her an interview, and only then did I look at her resume. And if she had never reached out with that video, I would have never have looked at her resume. If you're just submitting applications and waiting, you're playing a game that you're almost guaranteed to lose. The system isn't set up in a way where that's ever going to be a winning strategy. In reality, us hiring managers aren't looking for perfect resumes and perfect backgrounds. We're looking for people that can demonstrate to us that they can do the job to get the job. I don't care if you've never worked in tech. I don't even care if you've never sold a thing in your life. I care if you can show me initiative, consistency, and the boldness needed to put yourself out there in front of people. That's what the SDR job is. Reaching out to strangers and handling rejection all day. When someone reaches out to me directly, emails me, calls me, sends me a video, they're literally showing me they can do the SDR job before they have it. They just did outbound to get the interview. That's the job. So if we look at this real world example where the last job I posted, we got 387 applicants for, you can see that only 68 people or 18% of the population reached out to me on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn's not enough. You've got to do emails, texts, phone calls, send videos. And we can actually see Sarah over here, blurred out, of course, had reached out with this video that ultimately landed her the offer, where in that process, only 15 people out of 387 got to meet with my recruiter. 5 of those got sent to me. I sent 2 to our leadership team, and we hired 1 person. That's less than a 0.1% chance of being hired. So if you reach out directly to managers, you've already beaten hundreds of other candidates. Your odds just went from 1 in 500 to 1 in 15. The secret is you're not just applying to a sales job, you're selling yourself. And the people who treat the job search like a sales process are the ones that get hired. So instead of blindly submitting hundreds of applications, what you should do instead is pick a list of 10 to 15 companies, find their managers, and reach out directly. And when you reach out, keep it simple. Find the job posting on LinkedIn, find the manager, find their phone number, pick up the phone and call them, leave a voicemail, and then send a follow-up email and LinkedIn message. So let's look at a real example here. We've got Storable, and they posted a job 2 hours ago and with 29 applicants. So prime time to jump in here. What we're going to do is go to their account page, go to people. And if we go look at the job posting, we see that they're hiring for an SDR. So that's the title we're going to search for, SDR. And what we're trying to do is find the manager. So we've got the VP of RevOps here. We can open his profile. We've got an SDR and a BDR. Now, one other thing we can do, because we haven't found the sales development manager, is type out sales development. And we can see here, we've got 130 results, and boom, right away, we've got our manager of sales development. So we're going to go ahead and zero in on Lindsay here and open up her profile. What you'll do next is sign in to either a free Apollo or Lemlist account. And in this case, we're using Apollo. So we're going to go ahead and search up this lead right here in Apollo, see if we get any bites. And I've got her right here. Phenomenal. And very simple. All we need to do is grab her phone number and her email, which are both linked right here. And this is what we're going to use to reach out. Again, keeping it simple with your outreach is the goal. And so all we're going to do is we're going to pick up the phone, give her a call. The script is simple. It's something like ring, ring, hello. Hey, Lindsay, this is Jack. I saw you guys were hiring for an SDR and I wanted to show you I'm I'm not afraid to do the job to get the job. Oh, cool. I'm so glad you called. That's awesome. Let me hear more about your background. And you just want to be ready on the fly to talk through your background. But the ultimate goal is to schedule a formal interview with either Lindsay or the recruiter. That's it for a cold call. If they don't answer, leave that same style voicemail, and that's going to go a long way, because when Lindsay checks her phone later, sees a voicemail transcript, hey, I'm Jack, saw you guys were hiring, I'm interested, trying to earn my way in for an interview, she's going to want to definitely get in touch with you. Now, we need to do multi-channel outreach. So next, we need to drop her a text message. Same phone number. All I would do is record a little selfie video introducing myself. Hey, I'm Jack. I'm interested in the role. Here's a little bit about my background. Hoping to earn my spot on your calendar for an interview. That's it. We're good. Now, after we film that video and send it through text, we're going to want to use our other channels to get her attention back to that video. And it's very simple. You go to LinkedIn and you type up a message like this. Lindsay, saw you were hiring. Wanted to show you I'm not afraid to do the job to get the job. Tried cold calling earlier and dropped a message with a 1-minute video overview of who I am to help put a face to a name. We'll also be emailing you that same video at insert their email from your email. Subject line is Jack's video. Excited to earn a spot on your calendar. This outreach does a phenomenal job because you're not being lazy and coming in with vague info, just asking for time. You're demonstrating value, and you're demonstrating that you know how to multi-channel prospect to get their eyes on the outreach you want them to get their eyes on. So now we've hit her up over the phone, over voicemail, over text, and she's going to get a LinkedIn message from us, as well as an email pointing her all to the same video so that you are impossible to ignore. Why this is so exciting to us hiring managers is because when someone reaches out directly, it tells me they're not just mass applying, but they're actually treating this as if they were an SDR at my company. They've done research, they know what they want, and they're showing initiative. And that's 90% of the battle right there. Even if they're not perfectly qualified, I'm willing to talk to a candidate who's willing to put that much work into the process. So this is the secret. The interview starts before the interview. If you can show them you're willing to do the job to get the job, they're going to know that if they hire you, you're going to crush the job. Now you know what's actually happening behind the scenes. The resume pile is a black hole. The people who get hired are the people who reach out directly and prove they can sell. Stop playing by rules that don't work and start treating your job search like a sales process. If you want free training showing you a full step-by-step guide of how to do this process, click the link in the description below and it's going to show you everything. Go crush, and I'll see you on the next one.